All right, so today we're going to talk about being a different person every 6 months. We're also going to be talking about getting on the other side of the fence, and we'll get to that in a moment. So this really happened for two reasons in my life. One was I knew somebody that set out to do something really different or unusual every year, like one big thing, right? And at first I was just like, oh, it's just like one big thing. It's just one thing a year. What's the point? And then I realized after a whole year went by and they did another one and I had not, that I was like, oh my gosh, at the end of 5 years, they're going to have accomplished 5 cool things that they've been meaning to. And at the end of 10 years will be 10 cool things. So I said, I want a piece of that action, right? And at about that same time, I'd been doing a bunch of inner work and different growth and like 3 different people in my life said to me, you look different. Like, what's going on? You look different. And all of a sudden I realized, oh, all the stuff that I'm doing, right, that necessarily people don't see, right? I'm not getting a mohawk haircut or anything crazy like that. But at some point, if I keep continually doing these things, people do notice a difference. So for me, I came up with this idea of like every 6 months, I want to be a different person. And I want to be a different person that others will actually notice. Maybe just my close friends, maybe some acquaintances, but at some point people are going to go, what's going on? You look different. And it could be an inside job, right? Goals, mindset, dreams, emotions. It could be, creativity, where something actually appears on the outside world that people see, but often just embracing on the creativity and living it and enjoying it more, then that makes me a better, saner, kinder, friendlier person. And we talk about that and a lot in the Let's Create Tuesday online creativity group. And that's a group where we come together every Tuesday night, right? And we talk about creativity and inspiration, and then we actually create. Some people play guitar, a lot of people write. Sometimes it's novels, memoirs, poetry. Sometimes people create online courses. And we actually set aside some time right there on Tuesday night. We do it. And the reason why I mention that is it's an evolving thing. When I say every 6 months to be a different person, so let's say this is a year, right? So this blue line marks a year. So starting here, so it's 6 months, it would be recognizable that I'm a different person than here. But also then at this mark, the 7th month, then ideally I'm a different person than the 2nd month, right? So it's a constantly evolving thing. And the way I've seen it work best with myself and my other coaching clients is the habit, right? Getting into a very small habit that is repeated over and over again. And then, yes, we can have the visions, we can have the big goals, we're moving towards it, that's awesome. And as we establish these tiny little habits, for example, the one that I'm just starting, and let's talk about getting on the other side of the fence. So right now, getting on the other side of the fence, what does that mean? So if I live my life not eating healthy, like every day of the week, right? And then one day I go, oh my gosh, I should eat healthy today, right? And I eat healthy that day, right? But then I go right back over here. That one day on the other side of the fence really kind of makes like no difference, right? So when a writer joins Let's Create Tuesday and they're like, oh my gosh, I've been writing for so long, I really want to write, I want a community, I want support, I want to start building a creative habit. All these days they don't write, okay? Maybe years, maybe even decades, they don't write. They show up for one Tuesday night, they write for a half hour, 40 minutes, right? We all connect. They feel good, but if they go right back to not writing, they're really not that much closer to their book, right? And so then they can go, oh no. So the reason why, so getting on the other side of the fence then is, if I eat healthy day after day after day, right? And if a writer writes, even if it's at first, one day a week, trust me, I've seen it happen, one day a week, right? They start building that creative habit. They keep doing this over and over again. And then all of a sudden, what happens is the eating becomes more regular, it becomes a habit, the writing becomes a regular habit, playing guitar, exercising, whatever that is, becomes. Then if on one day I take a day off and I don't exercise, or I eat a piece of cheesecake, right? So now, so all these days now, I'm doing something healthy, strong, moving towards my goal. I take one day off, and that doesn't really matter. I come right back to it. So I've made it to the other side of the fence. So that's what I'm talking about. I made it onto the other side of the fence. So combining these two, being a different person every 6 months and then getting onto the other side of the fence. Right now, I've been walking every morning. So I'll just tell you a little personal story. I've been walking every morning for a while, 4, 5, 6 months. Did a 5-day fast in April 2019. I experienced different shifts in myself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I like feeling better. Started cleaning up my diet, read this book about longevity. The simplest step for it all, I like to start with the simple, was 150 minutes a week of walking, right? So I do 20 minutes of walking every morning. That comes down to 140 minutes, and then I usually go do something with the kids or jump in the trampoline 1 or 2 days a week. I figure that pushes me over, right? Excellent. Just start the simple thing, right? So now I'm on this side of the fence with the walking and the minimal little bit of exercise, right? So I just started a new thing with my 12-year-old because he's like, I want to get in shape. So I'm like, all right, I'll get in shape with you. So we start really simple. We got push-ups, sit-ups, lunges, curls, and something with weights that go like this. We call them flies. I don't know if that's the right name. Just to let you know, not an expert in the exercise world, right? But we just did that for 2 days, right? We did it Monday, we did it Wednesday, we're gonna do it again in a couple days. So with that, we're still on the other side of the fence of not exercising, right? We only got 2 days here. It is really, really easy for us to drop the exercise habit. Extremely easy, right? So that's why we have each other. That's why we have it written down on calendar, right? That's why I have it in my phone, because I have to build that habit, okay? And when I build that habit, then, simple habit, in 6 months, I will be different. I will be stronger to some extent. I'm not working out with a physical trainer. We're not doing, 150-pound bench presses. So it's not going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger type thing, right? But there will be a difference in 6 months, okay? And it feels good, and it slowly feels good. I'm anticipating it will feel good because we haven't gotten into it yet. It will feel good any minute now. Within a couple of weeks, I'm sure we'll feel better. So that's the thing, and that's what Let's Create Tuesday is all about, is keep coming back, right? Until we're on this side of the fence. That way, if we miss a Tuesday, or if we start writing 1, 2, 3 days a week, and then we miss a day, we come back to it because we got that habit. So I encourage you to hold the vision of, I'm going to be a different person in 6 months, and other people will see it, because the vision we hold is what we move towards. A lot of people, when they're in grade school, next year I'll be in 6th grade. Next year I'll be in 7th grade, right? In college, I've got this many years. Oftentimes when people get out of the educational system, they hunker down. This is the way I think. This is the way I feel. This is the way I eat. This is what I do, right? And they don't think about, in 6 months I'm going to be a different person. And I'm going to be such a different person that other people will notice it in a positive way. So I encourage you to consider adopting, embracing I'll be a different person in 6 weeks or 6 months, and other people will notice it, and then just start taking some actions. Sometimes I do create an outside goal. For 1 year, I did stand-up comedy, right? I've been thinking about it for a long time. In fact, in this email or link below, perhaps you'll have an opportunity to watch the 6-minute, comedy showcase if you're interested. It was fun, and it was scary, and it was the hardest thing I ever did. And by doing it, I really stepped into a whole new person that I was. And it was like an 8-week class beforehand. And so every once in a while, there's an outside thing that I do every 6 months that changes things up. And a lot of times it's inner. Just started working with a new coach that It's fine. It's good. We had 2 great sessions. I'm anticipating phenomenal things in about 4 months, right? 3 or 4 months, and possibly life-changing. Ideally, I'll make another video at that time about that. So I encourage you, embrace the idea. Every 6 months, be something different. And I wanted to combine the being something different with the small little steps, right? Because sometimes people think I got to be something different. I'm going to be an airline pilot. I'm going to combine that, see how that works for you. Enjoy.